Welcome back to Rising Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, in this special segment of Rising Pakistan today, we have Excellency Adam Tugio, the Ambassador of Indonesia to Pakistan. On the sets of Rising Pakistan, once again, good morning, Excellency. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so very much for having me.
You have been on the sets last year as well, so it is really nice to have you again with Sabine. Please don't miss the beautiful patterns of his batik shirt, and I remember your last shirt as well. That was even beautiful.
Yeah, well, thank you so very much once again for having me. The ideas of wearing batik, because I want to introduce batik as the Indonesians, traditional, customs, and also as a t-shirt, because next year I'm planning to invite Pakistani students or those who are interested to design batik with Pakistani motif.
All right.
So that's the idea why I'm wearing these batiks also in these occasions.
Are there any particular colors for men or women, that these are the colors in batik for men or ladies? Or
yeah, I learned in Pakistan, especially men. They are masculine. They try to avoid. Colorful
yellows and reds.
So in Indonesia, it's quite common. People wearing different, colorful, shirts. So, and I'm choosing the green colors because green representing Pakistan.
All right.
So basically batik, it's like a white canvas whereby you can get some inspirations and draw some. Many things, and then put it into a shirt, and then you wear it in many different occasions, from formal or informal.
So in Pakistan, men usually wear plain shirts, but different colors, vibrant colors. But obviously, they don't wear printed shirts at all. So, Mr. Tugio, today we thought to talk about your personal career as well, your professional career and your personal life, your educational background as well. So, you started your career in early 90s, if I'm not wrong. So, was that always in your mind that you wanted to become a diplomat, or it just happened?
Well, thank you. When I was in the high schools, I like to collect stamps. So like a philatelist, I collect stamps from different part of the world, and I guess it's then it encouraged me to learn more about international relations, about the countries where I have a stamps collection. So I think by the times that it once again encouraged my awareness. So I decided to join the foreign ministries when I completed my studies in university. So I think that's given a background for me to to join the ministries.
So is this the same way that you go in a foreign service or in a diplomatic service? Like in Pakistan, there's a competitive exam and that you qualify and you. Is there something similar?
Basically the same. The people who graduate, from university, they can, join the ministries, after completing several tasks. And once they join the ministries, then the ministries they, provide 1-year courses for junior diplomat. And nowadays, focusing on economic diplomacies. And I had a chance also to meet with the junior diplomat of Pakistan a couple of months ago when I was invited by one of the chamber of commerce here in Islamabad. So I learned that the economic diplomacy has also become one of the main focus or priorities of the Pakistani government. So likewise Indonesians also, we equip a junior diplomat not only for the international relations but more important on the economic diplomacy, because I think this is one of the priorities of the international relations today.
Also, you studied law, right? So, have you ever got a chance to practice law?
Well, practice by applying the law in daily business. Although I'm not practicing. I haven't practicing law, but the study that I learned, legal study that I learned, certainly it helped me to understand many issues of international relations, how we relate with the current situations, and even I was dealing with the law of the sea at that time, and also the border issue, and certainly having background on law helped me to understand, the bigger pictures of the issues.
Interesting. So, Excellency, last time you were here, if my audiences remember, we had the first draft of a very interesting researched book that Excellency Tugio brought for me, and that was the similarities between Pakistan and Indonesia. I still have that. But today, I got a bit of a heavier version of the first draft. It's about double the size and the weight of the book. So, ladies and gentlemen, we go for a short break in Rising Pakistan right now. And once we come back, we'll talk about this. And as you can see, it's such a beautiful comparison of the cattle race between Pakistan and Indonesia on the front page. But there are many, many, many similarities inside. We'll talk about this. It's a very interesting research. And Excellency Tugio has brought this to us. So we'll go for a short break in Rising Pakistan. Stay with me and Sabine. We'll be right back. Excellency Adam Tugio, Ambassador of Indonesia to Pakistan, is on the sets of Rising Pakistan today with me and Sabine, and we're talking about the similarities of Indonesia and Pakistan. And look what Excellency has brought for us. It's a book. So, Excellency Tugio, could you tell us a little more about this research and this book?
Well, thank you so very much. The books actually inspired when I visited Taxila, when I first come here, and then I'm trying to relate, the situations in Indonesia and Pakistan, because I believe both two countries are blessed with, many beautiful nature, worth visiting. And, I start with Taxila because in Indonesia we have also a Buddhist temple, we call it Borobudur Temple, and I start then to identify many similarities, not only for the cultural aspect, traditions, and but also in the cuisines. The cuisine is very interesting part because Indonesians like Pakistani. When we travel abroad, first things when we go outside, we try to find a restaurant whereby we can find the
similar food.
Food in our country. So. You'll be surprising because in Indonesia you can easily find nasi biryani, you can easily find pasandai, and
look what I found. If you could cut on this, the dupatta is and the scarf, the similarities.
All right, so the fashion.
Yeah, the fashion similarities, and pasandai and biryani
and also pakora.
And pakora, yeah. I'll have to find pakora in this. It's quite a big read.
Afternoon tea is not complete without pakora, I understand.
Oh, I found it. I found pulao. Yeah, yummy.
Do you guys like spicy food?
Yeah, we like people in Pakistan we like a spicy food, but I learned that Pakistan is more generous in putting more spices in their food. Yeah.
So this is chicken karai and curry ayam?
Curry ayam.
Curry ayam. Oh. This is a breakfast show and we are talking about this kind of food.
We'll have it in lunch.
All right, so Excellency, who did the, I see it's not easy. This looks beautiful. It's well researched, but it's not easy. So who did the research for this publication for you?
Well, the embassy's team, and we were helped by, we were assisted by the diaspora of Indonesia who studied here, because we have like almost 1,007 Indonesians who are living in Pakistan, and we also have some alumni, students from Pakistan who studied in Indonesia.
Okay.
And then some of them already, went back in Pakistan. So we maintain communications with that. We ask them whether they have an idea, because they already spend there sometimes in Indonesia. So probably they are good persons to understand and to know, more about the similarities between the two countries.
So they did contributions.
Yeah, they did contributions.
Because some of the pictures are really professionally done. I mean, they're
you.
so beautiful. So I was wondering who did the photography, but I think it's a mix of some fresh photography and some old pictures contributions.
Yeah, we combine it all together. Some also we gather some pictures also from the internet. We seek the permissions to use those pictures, but other than we ask friends who have pictures, like the truck art, the famous truck art of Pakistan. We found it from friends here, and then we also get from once again the alumni, diaspora, because nowadays we learned that many Pakistani students also wants to learn about Indonesia, the economic of Indonesia, and this year I'm very pleased to learn that the biggest recipients of the scholarship provided by the governors of Indonesia went to Pakistani students.
So basically you have multiple exchange programs as well, right? Okay, so Mr. Tugio, Indonesia basically it has a big scope of tourism there because your country has most of the islands. So how do you see the scope of tourism in Pakistan?
Well, Indonesia and Pakistan, we are very blessed with beautiful natures, not only, like 4 seasons you can find in Pakistan. Unlike Indonesia, we only have a tropical seasons and rainy seasons, but in Pakistan there are varieties, and not only that, you have also many heritage, many beautiful places to visit. I just come back from Jahangir, Tom, close to Lahore. Hiran Minars also, there's two heritage from the Mughal Empire. And also, interesting spot, I visited the Kartarpur Gajwara, the holy shrine for the Sikh community.
Kartarpur corridor,
Yes, the Kartarpur corridor. It's very interesting because in this place I witnesses the interfaith harmony is in action. Because in Gajwara, Kartarpur, the holy shrine, you see Muslim communities, there also the Christian communities who help preparing the food for the visitor who travel, who visit the shrine. So I think this is the interfaith harmony, in real actions.
Exactly, especially in Pakistani flag, we have that white portion. It basically represents minorities in Pakistan. So we try our best to, give them the equal rights as well. So, Mr. Tugio, when we talk about bilateral ties, so the only thing, we always say that both the countries, they basically share a mutual bond of trust and respect as well. So, what do you think? How can we basically strengthen the ties, people-to-people ties?
Well, one thing, in addition to the exchange program for students, for the scholars, I think that another programs also in Indonesia we have a familiarization trips, fam trip. We call it fam trip, whereby we invite journalists, from Pakistan, bloggers from Pakistan to visit Indonesia to see, different places of Indonesia, and we expect them to, make a good reportage about their visit in Indonesia, highlighting some of the area that in Indonesia have that worth visiting. Because with that, then we hope that we would be able to encourage more and more people from Pakistan to travel to Indonesia. Likewise, we also offer a scholarship because I think the scholarship will allow students from Pakistan to live in Indonesia, to know the cultures of Indonesia, to know more about the economic of Indonesia, different aspects of Indonesia.
So talking about the potential the tourism has, that the industry has for both the countries, I think, and if you're encouraging journalists and bloggers and media people, maybe there can be an interesting joint production between Pakistani television like PTV and a TV channel from Indonesia and teams coming from there to explore Pakistan and teams going from here, one show shot and shown in 2 countries. maybe something, the visual side of this, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good idea.
A
That's
TV
good
program
idea.
based on all of this. That can be a good idea.
Well, you know, I applaud your ideas, you know, because I think with that you know, we would be able once again to highlight, you know, to relate easily, you know, the people in Pakistan and people of Indonesia, because we share a lot in common. You know, we are the biggest two Muslim majority countries, and when we are talking about Indonesia, I think one thing that is very important, we have to look at beyond Indonesia, because Indonesia is part of the ASEAN. And ASEAN is 650, you know, 650 million populations, huge market, whereby 41% of those are Muslim, and 21% of the populations are Buddhist. So if you look at those, you see the potential of, you know, tourist sector for Pakistan. So there will be a lot of opportunity for Pakistanis to invite people from ASEAN to come to visit, to enjoy, you know, the beautiful sceneries of Pakistan, let alone, you know, many you know, holy shrines
and the heritage,
religious of tourism of Pakistan, which is also very important.
So, Mr. Tugio, you always say that Pakistanis are approachable. So, what is the general impression of Pakistan in Indonesia? So, what would you say about that?
You know, many of Indonesian, they see Pakistan people as very friendly, approachable, and I think share a lot of in common in terms of the cultures, because of the once again Muslim population. So there's a lot of a good reservoir of goodwill, you know, between Pakistan and Indonesia, and I think this is a good foundation to expand further the bilateral relations.
Do they also believe that we are hospitable?
Yeah.
Excellency Tugio, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so very much for having me.
It's time to say goodbye to our viewers and end our show. Thank you for this gift, and look forward to see you soon with your team cameras and filming the video version of this.
I look forward once again to, you know, invite you to visit Indonesia and to see for yourself, you know, the similarities between our two countries.
We'll be very glad to do that. बहुत शुक्रिया, thank you, all the best.
शुक्रिया.
आपका बहुत शुक्रिया जी, आपने ये special episode हमारे साथ enjoy किया, मैंने और सबीन के साथ. We had a great time today.
बिल्कुल.
We started with the cartoons and Achhi Khala and Meher's music, and a quick, you know, sneak peek into Indonesia and Pakistani similarities. So enjoy yourselves. See you soon. Sabeen और मेरी तरफ से
खुदा हाफिज.